It's 1994, and we are going to talk about It Could Happen to You. I am Brian Lee. To my left is...
Bran.
To my right,
Christopher Lee.
Very good. First thing I noticed about this movie is we watched it in 1080p on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not really necessary for this.
It is the uncut version, which I don't know. Like,
Lots of gratuitous nudity.
Isaac
Are you
Hayes.
French?
Woody Woodpecker. Man, all over the place right now.
Do you remember the old Bugs Bunny's laugh?
The old one.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
But the old Bugs Bunny's like,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember that.
terrible.
Yeah, well, you know.
The beer that we are drinking this episode is 21st Amendment Brewery. It is brew free or die.
That's in stereo.
Wait, is that it? Brew free or no? Or is it just Blood Orange IPA?
Yeah, I think just Blood Orange IPA.
Oh, and their phrase is brew free or die.
Yes.
Blood Orange IPA.
Didn't realize the breweries were having such a hard time.
I guess.
Yeah.
Brewed with blood oranges.
It's Abe Lincoln looking pretty sassy there on the cover. Thoughts? I haven't had it yet.
Evan. Very light. It's a good, at least right now, it's a good summer beer.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a summer beer,
That's
I would
good.
say.
I like that. So this movie takes place in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is very evident.
Yes.
So New York.
Yeah.
So I think it starts off with Isaac Hayes
Yes.
right away, right?
Yeah, chef.
Narrating. He's our narrating.
Chef.
Yeah, I know. I thought, hello,
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
Why bad?
Scientology.
That's right. I forgot. That's why he left.
Yep.
Yeah, so Isaac Hayes like, this is Charlie.
Yeah, pretty much.
And essentially it's like showing this montage of Nick Cage being like a super cop.
Yeah, just a nice guy. Like I'd say out of all the movies so far, this is like the nicest.
This is probably his
Nick
most
Cage.
likable character.
Yeah, really it is. Where's your like?
I'm just trying to think of all the movies.
Yeah, very likable in this movie.
Yeah. This is Charlie.
Yeah.
And his partner, Bo.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll get into Bo later.
Yeah. I like this partner too.
But yeah, they're showing this montage. It shows him chasing bad guys, playing stickball,
Helping a blind man
helping a
across the
blind
street.
guy.
Which I guess that's how you help blind guys
just
back in the
pick
day.
'em up.
Just pick them up, throw them over your shoulder. Come on, blind person, we're going.
Yeah, and then also shows him delivering a baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
On a bus.
Yes. And then Isaac Hayes introduced his wife Muriel, who hates queens.
Who's probably the most unlikable character in all these movies.
See, I don't even. It was played by Rosie Perez.
Right.
I don't even like Rosie Perez.
Right.
And then she played a horrible person. That's just like a double, like not liking.
Yeah.
I did not like her.
Yeah, she's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
And then Isaac Hayes introduced Yvonne, which is that Bridget Fonda? Or
Yeah, Bridget Fonda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it cuts to her and she's in court and she's having some money issues.
Yes.
And did it get really dark outside?
I just looked at it. It's supposed to storm.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, spooky.
Ghosts. Weird ghosts.
Do we want to, terrible segue, do we want to use the stormy weather as a little branch to talk about the Nicolas Cage's new movie that the trailer just came out for?
Oh.
It's a brief detour for listeners.
Yeah.
What's it called? Mandy?
Yes.
I think
And
so.
it's written in a very black metal font.
Yeah. Comes out in September.
Yeah,
It
it's a
looks
horror
intense.
movie. It looks fucked up. I
Yes.
mean, you know what? It made me think of like Suspiria almost in a way with like the colors.
It's
Yeah,
like hyper violent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think when they showed in the trailer, like it's hyper violent, like super like gratuitous type stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be.
It looks good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It looks really good. I like the spooky movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be good. I'm very excited for it.
So I assumed we want to see that in theaters together and then probably like record after and talk about it.
I would say
I'm
so.
down.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be like Arsenal where we kind of jump ahead
Right,
for an
yeah.
episode and come back. But yeah.
Are you a big? You strike me as a big movie snacks kind of guy.
I'm an anytime snacks kind of guy. Really?
But even at the movies too, where it's like overpriced.
Yeah,
You probably sneak in your own snacks, though.
I don't bring anything in. I don't sneak. Yeah, you have to. I'm not going to spend $7. That's on peanut M&Ms. I'm just not going to. You know.
Oh God, I love peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, peanut M&Ms are pretty great. I think they put them up there. Like it's like $7.50 for a little box of peanut M&Ms. No, thank you. I'll just bring, a little bit. Everyone brings stuff into theaters.
Right.
Everyone does. As long as everyone does it, it's okay.
I should just bring like weird snacks that you wouldn't bring, like an apple.
Caviar.
Delightful. So it shows Yvonne in court. She's having money issues.
Yeah, we're back to the
movie.
Yeah.
I guess her husband had overdrawn her MasterCard account.
Yeah.
And
they're not divorced, but she's divorced inside. But
she's too broke to get
For the divorce.
Right.
Yeah. And she's like, well, what can I, do you have any suggestions? She asked the judge.
Yeah.
And he's like, and stamps that says bankrupt.
Yeah.
Or bankruptcy or something like that. But when she's talking about like her bad luck, she's like, I've had terrible luck, and she's talking about Eddie, her soon to be ex-husband.
Yeah.
And she's like, he did all the right things. He took me on taxi rides, and I'm like,
really?
I don't remember that line. That's weird.
Yeah. Bought me flowers.
Yeah.
It's also when they introduce Muriel.
Yeah.
It's because she works at a hair salon, nail salon,
and
something.
she hates queens.
Yeah.
But she's like talking to her friend, like, whatever in her accent that I'm not going to attempt to replicate.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone could do a Rosie Perez accent. It's very specific.
But her friend at one point goes, "You've got driving ambition."
Yeah.
No one talks that way.
Yeah.
And her driving ambition is she wants her husband to be rich. She's mad that her husband isn't. Nick Cage is happy with his job. He's a cop.
They live in a 1-bedroom.
And she's like, I want more. I want more money.
In Queens is probably stupid expensive.
And all she cares about is money.
Yeah.
That's really what you get from this Rosie Perez. Because her friend's like, well, she's like, blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever, married a cop and got divorced. Now she married an electrician. That's where the money's at.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah, it's gross.
And then kind of clips back to like Isaac Hayes doing his soliloquy thing.
Yeah.
He's like, my name's Angel, and these three are all going to be intertwined.
Well, it's funny because at the very beginning of the movie, it's just Isaac Hayes doing the voiceover.
Right.
And like, and I was like, Isaac Hayes is narrator. That's fun.
Yeah.
But then it's around this scene where it's actually him in person, just like talking into the camera.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
So the movie cuts to Charlie and Muriel's apartment, and she's in the shower and he's shaving. And she's talking about how she had this dream about her dead father appearing in the slot machine.
Yeah.
And he told, that they need to play the lottery. It's the $65 million lottery.
65.
Right. And so she's like, oh yeah, Rosie Perez says to Nicolas Cage, like, hey, you need to buy a lottery ticket.
Right.
Because my dead father said so.
Yeah.
So it's the next day, Charlie, Nick Cage, and his partner, Bo, they're walking around and he's like, oh man, I'm hungry. And, and then Nick Cage's like, oh, I got to do this first. And he stops in line to do the lottery.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, this is going to take forever. And he's like, the Burger King isn't like five, like,
five
blocks. Nick Cage he's like, oh, why don't we go there? And he points at the diner.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, there. I don't know why he was so poo-pooing like the diner.
It seemed like a fine diner.
Yeah. Fine dining. So they go to the diner, and this is the diner where Yvonne works at.
Yes.
And this is where we see that Yvonne's boss is a big meanie.
Yes.
Because she comes in, wait.
He's not really a meanie. So she comes in, but she's 2 hours late.
Right.
And he's like, well, that's going to be deducted from your paycheck.
Yeah, which does that make sense?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, she just acts like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's how it works.
Yeah,
if you're
if you're
2
not-
hours late, you don't get paid for 2 hours.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I want to get paid for the time that I'm not here.
Yeah, exactly.
that was confusing.
Well, the thing is, like, right after that, she pours him coffee and gives it to him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you very much." Like, he's like, it was very quick.
Right.
She like puts it down, and he has this like nice smile. He smiles at her, like everything's fine. I just thought it was very weird.
So then Yvonne goes over to the table where Nicolas Cage and his partner are sitting, and the partner orders like a burger.
Yeah.
And she goes to Nicolas Cage. He's like, "Oh, I'll take the lobster thermidor."
Yeah.
And
She has no time for that.
right.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, first off, it's not a very funny joke.
No.
And but also at the same time, she's a real bitch about it. She's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's so funny. After the day that I've had, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's so funny. Like, I can't contain my laughter.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was just trying to, like, make you laugh, blah, 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 blah. And then he ends up ordering, like, a meatball sub.
Yeah.
Or
He's like,
something.
"Well, that's what I really want." Like, he was like trying to like.
Right.
So.
Oh, is my I'll be right back.
Windows.
Oh, this is gonna be so weird. Brian can't steer the ship.
We just stare at each other for like 5 minutes, no words. We don't even blink.
So I don't know what do you want to talk about next, but I do know. So it's nighttime. Basically, Nicolas Cage is like, "Oh, I want a meatball," but then they get a call that they need to go.
Yeah, and then he goes to pay.
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, like she's like
total like $2 or
$2.
something.
It's 2 coffees, including tax, and it's $2.
Yeah.
So you open his wallet, and all you see is $2. There's only a couple singles in there, and he's like, "Oh, I have it, but I want to give you a tip."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Don't worry about it."
Great for continuity.
Were your windows down?
Hey, we're cracked.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Yeah. It's coming down there.
Is it? Hey, you're all right. Let me go get you a towel. Let me get you a towel.
We're just talking about the fact that their bill is only $2 for the 2 coffees.
Right.
It's coming down.
Got a towel off here.
No, it's not that one.
Thank you.
Yep. Those are brand new towels too, so
great.
enjoy them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, so.
That'll be seen this way.
Okay.
Guarding test joke.
Yeah. Lobster thermidor. Okay.
No, so now we're at the part where he's
Trying
supposed
to pay.
the
He
rate.
only has
Yeah, it's $2 and he wants to leave a tip. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I don't need a tip." And he's like, "Hey, they got a lottery ticket here. You know, if I win, I'll give you half the money." And she's just like, "Oh,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I say he's like, regardless, I'll be back tomorrow, either with the winnings or with your tip.
Exactly.
Like, oh,
Right.
I'll never see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has enough money for the coffee, but not for a tip.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives the lottery proposition, which is really extreme. Like, I get it, he's a good guy, but that's
Yeah.
like a very extreme
What?
proposal.
He didn't expect to win. Like, really,
Yeah.
Right.
what are the odds of winning the lottery are like, was it like millions to 1 billions to 1? It's got to be something crazy like that, isn't it?
Bit.
Yeah. So
How's my hair?
yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't believe you.
Oh, boy. Oh, my God.
Just towel it.
I'll just...
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm just going to wear this towel for the rest of the episode.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, so we're at
so then...
he goes home.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's soaking his feet.
He's soaking his feet.
Which okay, he's a beat cop, so that means he's walking around all day. So it's understandable that he's gonna.
You would. I'm not...
No, like that's a thing. Like people, you soak your feet in Epsom salt. You've never heard of that? Soaking your feet in Epsom salt.
No.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I know. I mean, that doesn't surprise me because I know like Epsom salt baths are a thing.
Yeah.
That's supposed to help with like muscle.
No, that's
whatever.
like what he had was meant. Like that's a thing too. Like his little thing was meant. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And so, and Rosie, like, again, this is where it's just like she is a horrible person.
Right.
She's doing her nails on the couch.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to like relax for the day. And she's like, ew, you're gross. Don't soak your feet next to me. And I'm like,
And didn't you say like you haven't had a problem with this before or something like that?
oh, I don't know. I just
See,
I just got super angry.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I'm
she's
just
terrible.
like, I'm like, that is horrible. Like this guy is like what? Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna get angry now thinking about it. So
so she's like, don't do that next to me. And
yes.
And so he picks up the water, and then he like puts around, and he just like spills all like, oh my god, the carpet!
that is Rosie Perez.
And then she kind of hints at how she wants a boob job. Because they're like watching this like TV
Something on
show
TV,
and like they're talking about boob jobs on TV.
Yeah. And he's like, why do you need that? He doesn't understand. He doesn't get it.
So then it cuts over to Yvonne's apartment, and it's like talking more about like her money problems. Like she's talking to MasterCard.
Yeah.
And
Her friend.
oh, that's
Shows
right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget her friend's name.
I don't think he even said her name.
Carol?
It was whoever she was working with at the diner.
Yes.
And I was like, they have BLTs.
At home?
Yeah, she made BLTs.
Well, she made something like, regardless of like how much money I have, I'll always have mayo and
A Miracle
Was it
Whip.
yeah, it was Miracle Whip.
Smuckers, like Oreos. She's like, even if I'm broke, I gotta have these
Right,
name brand items. And I'm like, well, that's stupid.
Miracle Whip or mayo?
I don't know. It really depends. Miracle Whip, probably. I just grew up with Miracle Whip.
I'm not a fan of either.
You see,
Miracle Whip.
I like it. It's hard for me to cook with. You guys know the story with me. Remember when I was making that broccoli salad?
Like textures.
Yeah,
and
the consistency.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if it's like I can eat it, but if I'm trying to cook with it, it's very
Forget it.
No, it's like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Miracle Whip.
Yeah, Miracle Whip.
So she's having the phone conversation with MasterCard. Like, oh, you're overdrawn.
Yeah. Well, she wants to get a MasterCard back,
Right.
and chances are she's not going to get it back.
Right.
So, friend BLTs, which
Because Eddie, her soon-to-be
BLTs.
ex, is like overdrew the accounts or whatever.
oh yeah, she did none of this.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just in her name. He just totally used her.
Right.
So,
So then, how does it do it? Because it's where are they at when Rosie Perez finds out Nick Cage picked the wrong number? Are they in the kitchen? Oh yeah, no, yeah, they're in the kitchen. I
Yeah.
think.
He's making Jiffy Pop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he picked 26 opposed to 27. Yeah, something like that. It's like this big convoluted thing. Oh, we celebrate on the day.
Yeah.
We celebrate on this day.
Yeah.
And then they overhear on the TV the numbers.
And
It's the numbers
Yes.
that Nick Cage picked.
Yeah.
She lets out this scream.
it's a screech.
Screech.
Yeah.
So, I'm watching this in bed with the puppy next to me. The puppy did not like that noise.
I don't think any puppy would like.
Oh my
Rosie
gosh.
Perez. Yeah.
Yeah. So they won, and then it cuts to like another scene where like they're laying on the bed. He's got like the popcorn right there. And she's on the phone with the lottery people. And they find out like some lady from somewhere won.
Yeah, basically there's several winners.
Yeah,
a bowling team.
Yeah, and I don't so the bowling team wins, and she's like, well, does that mean each person gets?
Yeah.
It's one ticket.
It's one
you know
ticket,
how
you
lottery,
dummy.
Yeah, you know how lottery works. Does that mean you and your husband get? It's
right.
She's
dumb.
Very dull. But it's funny, like so when they're deciding, okay, so that leaves us with 4 million. That's enough to live on, right?
Yeah.
And she was eating the fucking popcorn
Yeah,
like
like half-
a bridge troll.
Yeah.
yes, half of it's missing.
It looked like she was eating in fast motion.
Yeah.
Like fast forwarding. It was weird.
Yeah.
So she's like,
Also, that sentence is absurd. 4 million. We could live on that, right?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
right. And she's like, we'll just, let's just pray that, it doesn't get split anyone else.
Yeah.
Amongst anyone else. And he's like, and he's just kind of looking. He's like, no, stop looking at it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got something to tell you. And then she lets out another scream.
Yeah.
That puppies don't like.
Charlie tells her that, the whole waitress thing. Yeah. And then she tells the whole dead father story again.
Yeah.
How like the dead father had like 4s in his eye.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do we need to know all this?
Yeah. I could do without that.
So Rosie Perez tells Nick Cage to stiff her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rosie's like, it's mine.
Which sounds very suggestive and dirty, right? Is that the only one? Okay,
all
never mind. Keep it going.
So next scene is, Nick Cage is like outside the diner and he's talking with Bo and asking for Bo for advice, but Bo isn't here and he's just like, maybe I'll,
No, Bo's like, if I won that, I get like Knicks tickets.
Yeah.
Season Knicks tickets. I would sit like by Jack Nicholson, Spike Lee, and he's like, I would buy this. I'd buy a stereo system for the house. You do all this stuff, not listen to Cage. And then at the right after all of it, though, he's like, doesn't he say like, well, I know what you'll do. He's
like, you'll do the right thing.
Exactly.
So then he goes in there and
he has like a little envelope with a $5 something tip in it.
Right.
Yeah, he put that in there.
In the box.
And the box with like like a necklace or something.
Yeah, like a little chain.
For the glasses.
Yeah. That's right, the chain for the glasses.
So how much was in the envelope?
I thought it was like $5 or something.
Sorry, I'm being very vain here.
It
was
so vain.
It was double the tip. So I forget how much it was. It was it's whatever.
Yeah.
So he goes in there and she sees like Yvonne being like Mother Teresa, like, oh, how you?
Yeah, because the one guy, she's talking to that one guy in the booth.
And so it's like, oh, he's got it.
Yeah.
You know,
AIDS, I assume.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a very.
You gotta think it's still in what 94.
Yeah.
AIDS is like that's right. Really, it's still in the big boom time. That was
is it?
Well, yeah. Well, it was in. I remember it was like in the late 80s.
Yeah.
That's when it was huge. So still in the early 90s, people might have known then what it is,
right?
Or they given a name to it, but people still were freaking out about it. I remember being early 90s, people talking about it,
right?
So.
Yeah, because it's like the two gay guys in the booth.
Yeah.
And
Nick Cage sees that and he's just like, man, she's a nice person.
Right.
That's where he's just like, I can't give her this card.
And then it's also while this is going on, the boss is being a dick again. I can't remember what he was. Oh, because some guy walked out on a bill.
Yeah. And that's when she's like, oh, he was going to go get his wallet. He's like, you never let them leave.
Right.
And she's like, well, it was just that, stuff happens.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, that's being deducted out of your paycheck.
Yeah. So
then he's like, oh, now get me a coffee. So then they walk in, they put ashes from the cigarette.
Whimsy music again.
Yeah.
So they put the ashes. For some reason, when I was looking back, I thought they put the cigarettes in there too.
No, they kept those out.
They did, which is probably for the better.
Yeah, to each their own.
Yeah, they put the cigarette ashes in his coffee, and then they give it. And actually, really quick, why is he dressed like he works at a pharmacy?
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah.
Well, because every time they pan to him, I'm like, oh, they're in a pharmacy.
Right.
My brain didn't click that it's still the diner.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like, wow, I didn't realize it was like a pharmacy too. That's so cool.
Pharmacy and diner.
Yeah.
One on every corner.
Yeah. I know you could tell because his coat was so big on him. So he must have, he was like a Skeletor type. He was so like yeah.
Yvonne's friend brings over the coffee to the boss. He takes a drink. He's like, now that's coffee.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason,
So
I was chuckling because I'm like, wow, he really put all of it, like his all into that fucking line.
Yeah.
Like the look and everything.
Yeah.
And then I just pictured like that actor like repeatedly putting in requests to redo that. Because
I'm sure. Because that was his moment.
Right. It's like, now that's coffee.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because everyone besides like the main people were super New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they had that thick New York accent. Like they played it up like the bowling team. They showed the bowling team.
Oh,
talk
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, is he disrespecting me?
Right.
It's like that kind of thing.
Right.
Flawless
Yeah,
New York
yeah,
accent,
but
by the way.
well, that's how New York people talk. Of
Yeah.
course. They're,
Pizza.
yeah, exactly.
Taxis.
Yeah, of course. Statue of Liberty.
So Nick Cage walks back up to Yvonne. He's like, "Oh, hey, I got you a gift." That's where he gives her the chain for her glasses because she keeps misplacing them. We see this, like it's on her head or it's on the counter. Blah 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 blah.
She thought it was a very sweet gesture.
Right.
Yeah, she's like, this is one of the nicest things anyone's ever given me. It's like, it's literally a piece of string. Like,
Yeah.
Right. And she's like, "Oh, I want to apologize. I had the worst day. Yesterday, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "Oh, you have bad luck."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, my dog had parvo when I was 11. I don't even know what parvo is."
I looked it up because I was curious. It's a virus that afflicts puppies, marked by severe intestinal and heart problems, easily preventable by vaccines. But I assume she couldn't afford that because she couldn't afford many things. So yeah, that was parvo.
So yes, he's like, "Oh, you have bad luck." And he's like, "I got, I have a proposition for you. Double your tip or half of what we won in the lottery."
Right.
And she's like, "My choice, huh?" He's like, Yeah, your choice. She goes, "Well, okay, well then if it's my choice, then lottery.
Right.
I go with what you won in the lottery."
And she doesn't think he won anything.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Right, and because he's like, "Oh, that's what I was hoping you'd say."
Right.
And she goes, "Why? Oh, better luck next time." He's like, "Oh, actually, we won."
Yeah.
"Oh, did you win something?"
Yeah.
And
He's like, "Yeah, we won $4 million." Right.
She's like, "The New York State Lottery." He's like, "Well, technically, it would have been more, but there was a bowling team."
Right.
And
She gets upset.
right. She's like, "Why would you play this?
"Yeah, why are you lying to me?" Basically, yeah.
He's like, "It's not a lie. We won this amount."
And then you see like her reaction changes, and she finally it's sinking into her like, "Holy crap, I'm gonna have money."
Right. And then more whimsical music.
Yep. Well, because she goes around the entire diner, she's screaming.
With a giant barrel of ice cream.
Yes. Yeah, she's just so happy.
Oh my God.
And then everyone in the diner, like everyone's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That like I could just, if I was in that diner when that happened.
Keep it down. I'm trying to eat breakfast.
Thank you. I'd be like, I come here to just get my food. I don't want to deal with any business. I'm happy you won. Can I have a refill on my coffee? But I'm a curmudgeon.
Would you turn down that free ice cream or pie?
What kind of pie?
I don't know. She's just because she's
you know what? I shouldn't say that. Pie is pretty much my favorite
fucking
dessert.
free. I'll take fucking free pie.
I love pie.
Yeah.
I don't like cake. That's the thing.
Right. I feel like we've
We've
had
had
this
cake though. We have had this discussion.
Oh, we have?
They were giving out cake though.
Well, I'm saying if it was cake.
She's like, "Who wants ice cream with the bar?" Like, "Bah!"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Who wants pie?"
Well, see, the ice cream, I probably, the first, okay, if she would have been like, "Who wants ice cream?" I would have been quiet.
It's just Brand in the corner.
Yes, I would have been. And then when she said, would have been like pie, I like grudgingly,
That's
I would
a
have been,
different story.
no, I would have been like,
Pushing over old ladies.
I would have been
Give me
like,
that pie.
fine. I would have been like, okay, I'll have some pie. But if I was like the last person, there was no pie left, I wouldn't have been upset. I would have been like, well, I missed out on pie. Well, have fun with your $2 million. And I would have went about my day.
Hey.
Well, I'm just saying.
Hey, no. So while this is all going on, a reoccurring theme happens where the camera goes to Bo, his partner.
Yeah.
He gives an approving look.
Yes.
Yeah, that did happen a
That
lot.
really was like, I loved those parts. Every time
Yeah.
they went to him, he's like, all right.
So then, next scene is they're headed because Nick Cage and Muriel, they're headed to the lottery thing, press conference.
Yeah.
And they're riding the subway.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it'll be good exposure for you,
Yeah.
Well, because she does not want to give the money to
yeah,
the waitress.
she's pissed that she has to split it.
Exactly. She's, as we've said, she is not a good person. She's
Right. She's
selfish.
Is she the most unlikable character in every Nicolas Cage movie?
Yeah.
Rosie Perez or the Gilmans.
No,
I'd say Rosie.
Definitely Rosie. Because the Gilmans, at least there was like something there we can.
They
like,
weren't. I was gonna say they weren't central, but they were kind of central to the story.
Well, you could laugh at them because they were trying to they thought they were doing the right thing. They thought they were just dumb.
Yeah.
Rosie
they were just racist.
and Rosie is just a
terrible person.
Yeah. Like there's no hiding it or anything.
So on the not the subway, but on the train, he's like, oh well, think about it. With all this publicity, you can get endorsements and sponsorships, and you'll be known as the woman with the heart of gold.
And you could like Nick Cage, like that's where I realize that Nick Cage knows how she is. He knows that she's just cares
they
about
are married,
money.
Right?
They're married.
Yes.
For how long? Did they say?
They did because Nick Cage and Yvonne later in the movie talk about their
troubles and stuff.
Troubles, everything. And he said that they met in high school. Like they started dating in high school.
Right.
And that they since then. And he said, Nick Cage said later, he's like, she's the only one I've been with.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and been with, you know what I mean?
So they get to the lottery ceremony, and it's just there's not much happens in this scene. It's just like
it is around this point where I realize Rosie Perez has a really ugly smile. Or just like
oh yeah.
It's like yikes.
Yeah. She kind of like makes her face go into like one point.
Right.
It's like
her lips are weird shape.
Yeah.
It's like
I've never been a fan of hers.
Yeah.
So
my wallet funny.
And then this is what until they're there and they go back now, right? Nick Cage
to their home.
Yeah. And
people are clapping outside their apartment.
That
Tess is there.
That part freaked me out.
Wait, no, hold on, no, because it goes to the montage of everyone reading the same newspaper about the lottery.
That happens so many times in this
There's
movie.
there's a lot of montages.
Right. And
headlines.
And then the shopping spree montage.
Oh, that's right. Oh, and then she had the fur on.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Nick Cage has all these bags from Tiffany's and Macy's, all this stuff, and she's wearing a fur, and she's like, "Oh, I'm almost happy.
Right.
I'm almost happy," and I'm like, "You're just the worst."
Yeah.
And I was pumped when she sees these people protesting furs, and one of them takes it and just throws red, just paint on her, and I was like, "Yeah." But then they do this like this red wash.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, "My God."
Then they go back home to their apartment, and people like have a big sign hanging. They're clapping for him.
That I did not like because I was thinking if I was in the position, if I went and I saw people cheering like that, I would have just kept going.
It's not even like free pie, so applauding people, you're definitely not doing.
I don't need that business in my life.
So then it goes to a scene of Yvonne coming home. She has her macadamia nuts, and then a message on the machine from the MasterCard guy.
Yeah.
About how, we've offered you a $20,000 line of credit.
Yeah.
And then it's another message of a guy who says, I'd like for you to spank my tushy with a wire brush.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh my God, that's disgusting. I'm like, really? If that offends you?
Grill wire brush?
That's
fucking
brutal.
Yeah, it is.
Like it could have been so much worse. Like I want you to shit on my face. But
it's the 90s.
It's like I want you to spank my tushy.
Yeah.
Like like disgusting.
Yeah, that gets you a PG-13 right there.
Right. Oh, we can't put that out there. God, I want you to think of my dead mom. What the fuck? It's like, anyways.
Is this when her husband calls?
Yes, because they made a note of Eddie and his voice inflections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's like, "Hi, baby."
Yeah.
Because he's starting to leave a message.
Yeah,
and she picks up. And Yvonne is. She's like, I don't want you to ever call me again.
Right. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, you are that. He completely ignores everything she says. Right. And then she starts talking to him. And then I'm like, I hate when like these kind of movies when like the guy's like, oh, I did all this shit to you, but you still love me, right? She's like, oh, I do. Right. I'm thinking it's gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah. Hi, baby, you on there? She's like, I know why you're calling me. You saw me on the news after I won.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah,
you won something?
Yeah.
And he's like looking at in his reflection,
Yeah.
So I don't know if he really did know at that point.
No, he knew. He knew.
Okay, I mean that's what kind of what I assume.
Yeah, and then that's when she just was like, I don't want any part of
Yeah,
this.
stay out of my life.
And
blah,
I was happy that she hung up on him. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you show it to the guy who was mean to you.
So then it's the next day, and Nick Cage and Bo they're walking the street, and then they go inside the Asian grocery store, and everyone is doing the mannequin challenge.
Yes. Yeah. That was super weird. I'm just like, okay, you realize because it's getting robbed.
Yes.
The shop's getting robbed.
Right.
Well, so Nicolas Cage walks in and say all the other customers are doing the mannequin challenge, as you put it. And the camera cuts to behind the counter. There's one of the robbers has a gun to a woman, but they're both crouched, hiding behind the counter, so Nick Cage can't see them. It cuts to there's a dude at the salad bar who's got a gun in his waistband. Right. He's putting really gross wilty salad into a bag.
Isn't this just like a convenience store?
Yeah, it looked like it. But they had a salad bar.
Exactly. Right. That's what I'm just like, that's really weird. But then I haven't lived in New York. I've only been there once, so yeah.
Yeah, and Nick Cage is like, I was like, oh, how's the wife? Yeah. He's like, oh, homesick with flu. Yeah. He's like, okay. And then he's like, coffee on the house. And he's like, all right. So he walks in, he's like, our favorite grocery store is being robbed right now. He's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's Bo. Yeah. That was really racist.
Well, I mean, in the 90s, they ham up stuff like that constantly.
Right.
So.
Well, as we saw in Amos and Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, and he's like, oh, how do you know it's being robbed? And he goes, well, he says, so the wife is sick. He goes, shit, she'd be working even if she was dead.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, and he offered me coffee on the house. He goes, oh yeah, they're definitely being robbed.
Well, because he said in the beginning, he's like, you're not jacking up your prices now, are you?
Yeah.
Nick Cage asked the guy, and the guy's like, oh no.
So Nick Cage says to Bo, like, oh, here, stand here, and then I'm gonna go around back. Yeah. So then he starts sneaking through the basement. There's a rat.
Yeah.
He does not like rats.
One is a conveyor belt in the basement,
right?
Which seems very odd. Maybe that's a New York thing. Don't know. It's also at this time that the robbers in the convenience store. They're like, oh shit, we need to get out of here. There's a cop out front. We need to get the money. Yada yada.
Because they're waiting for the cop to leave.
Yeah, and one of the robbers goes, yeah, and a carton of Virginia Slims.
Can't really say that in a tough way.
The 120s.
Yes. So while Nick Cage is moving through the basement, he trips over something. And I was like, what's that? He's like, rats. And does he say big ones or something like that? Yeah. He's like, oh, rats.
Oh no.
So while Nick Cage is kind of maneuvering his way through, the wife sees Nick Cage on
the wife of the shopkeep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the wife of the shop keep whatever.
Security TV cameras.
She sees Nick Cage on one of the security cameras, and she faints.
Yeah, which is actually pretty convincing.
Yes,
right. But then one of the other actors, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
Extras.
Yeah, one of the extras delivers the line very terribly. I think she's having a heart attack. Yes. I'm like, oh, really? That's the best you could have done.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Well, it gets the robbers. They freak out, and they're like, oh my god, what are we gonna do here? And then that's when Nick Cage becomes super cop.
Right. And he picks up a can and hits
line drive to the forehead of one of the robbers.
It's gotta hurt. Oof.
Yeah. And then and in that process, and while that's happening, the robber fires off a shot.
Yeah.
And it does end up hitting Nicolas Cage in the arm.
Yeah.
And then there's another robber, and Nick Cage tackles him through the store.
Well, he starts running at the robber. The robber's trying to shoot him, but his gun.
Right.
Either
there's no bullets?
There's no bullets, or either it misfired.
No, but there's a few times though. He tried shooting a few times.
Yeah. But I don't know about guns that misfiring, how that really works. But from movies I've seen where it misfires, the person keeps on trying to fire it when it misfires. So maybe there's no, but who knows? All I know is he tackles them through the window.
Yeah. Which there have been so many cuts.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought happened. I didn't realize he got hit with the bullet. I just saw the guy shot him. I didn't think he got hit. So I figured, I saw blood on the kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, he got cut from the window.
Yep.
No, he did get shot.
Yeah.
That's when I knew he got shot.
Yeah. Bo's like, oh man, you got shot.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to a ceremony where it's like, thanks to Charlie, blah blah blah's bravery.
Yes.
Blah blah, giving this award, and then Nick Cage donates $10,000 like to the police widows fund.
Yeah.
And Muriel's like, ooh.
Yeah, she's right in front. Rosie Perez is right in front, and she hears him that he's donating $10,000, which 10,000 out of 2 million.
Yeah,
Right.
much.
What? It's like nothing.
Yeah.
And she could tell she's mad, but she's trying to do this like smile, like that's what we're doing. Ugh,
Yep.
yuck.
So then it's like a few days later, something like that, and Nick Cage comes home, and the apartment's being remodeled.
Yeah, they're remodeling every room at the same time.
Right.
And okay, so this I thought was kind of dumb because at the beginning she wants out. She wants out.
She doesn't want to live in
Oh,
Queens.
yeah.
But
Good
then
point.
now she wants to remodel it and everything.
Well, because-
I know. I know you're gonna say the remodeling, but they're gonna live there. Well, I mean, assuming.
Well, no, so the accountant said after they make the renovations,
They could
could
rent it out or something like that.
No,
or-
they could sell it for $100,000 profit. And if they move to New Jersey within the year, they get to keep all of it or something like that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I still hate her. That's terrible.
yeah, and I thought that whole part was just it was dumb. I didn't.
I swear this one of the workers is just like with a crowbar, just like hitting a wall. It's like,
yeah.
No, I'm doing it. And also at this point, I realized that Rosie Perez's outfits are very interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I think in this scene, she's like dressed like a matador.
Yeah.
Pretty more or less. And Nick Cage, he's like, why did you do this without, asking me?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need to ask for your approval, and she brings up like the whole donation thing.
Yeah.
please find it.
So you kind of sense the tension between Nick Cage and Rosie Perez.
Well, and she got rid of his favorite chair.
Right.
Yeah. Which that
goodwill.
sucks. That really that sucks. Have you guys ever had a favorite chair that's been taken away or gotten rid of? No?
Not taken away, no.
I have had one. It sucks.
Want to talk about it?
Is that leather chair still at your
Still
place?
there.
Well,
Okay.
no, because you get
When I move out, I might
have
finally
a chair.
grab it.
Well, you have a chair, and you love the chair. You had it for so long, and like I had one that was just gone. It's I know it's a stupid attachment to something that doesn't matter, but that's something that you're comfortable in. You sit down and you're like, okay, like you just can relax in it. And when that's taken away, that sucks. It does.
That's how I feel about almost all rocking chairs.
There you
I like
go.
rocking chairs.
Yeah, rocking chairs are pretty great. So yeah.
I need to get one of those Cracker Barrel rocking chairs.
Oh, yeah.
I was at Cracker Barrel a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
That was fantastic. I got what was it? I think it was the like the grandpa's something or whatever. No, it was a country fried steak with their hash brown cheese hash and something else. It was so good, dude. It was really good.
their meatloaf is pretty on point.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in the mood for a breakfasty type thing when I went. So
I don't think I've ever had breakfast there.
it's very good. Very Cracker Barrel, and it's because I love it because I think it's close to like Naperville. Is where we drove to for it. And yeah, it was me and my buddies went there and it was really tasty. And they have like checkers set up. You can play checkers. And when you walk into a store.
Right.
And it's,
That's how they get you.
Yeah, it is. Cracker Barrel.
This week's sponsor, Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, God. Well, that's good.
The next scene is Nick Cage and Bo just walking down the street. They're kind of playing catch up. Obviously, Nick Cage can't work because his arm's still, he's getting blown. They're playing catch up, and then they walk past the diner, and he's like, oh, Yvonne bought the
place.
diner.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you go in there? And he's like, oh no,
She's busy.
Right.
Well, because you remember earlier in the movie, they walked by where Rosie Perez worked,
Right.
his wife, and Bo's like, "Hey, why don't you go and say hi to your wife?"
Right.
And Nick Cage is like, "No, she doesn't like me surprising her."
Right.
So that's where I can see why he wouldn't want to go say hi to Yvonne. You know, that kind of thing.
that.
Like, yeah. I felt bad for him at that point. I'm like, man, he thinks he can't
catch a break.
He thinks he can't do that kind of thing. Like Rosie has him so like beaten down, type thing.
Next scene is where they're going on the millionaire cruise.
I have it written down. Ahoy millionaires.
Yes.
And I was very upset.
Just before this, when they're talking about Nicolas Cage stopping at the diner or not, it cuts to in the diner, and she is Yvonne is helping tables and stuff. But there's this homeless guy eating, and she's like, "Oh, how's the soup?" He's like, "Not enough basil."
Yeah.
How would a homeless person know that?
I'm like, literally, beggars can't be choosers. Well, literally, beggars can't be choosers. What the fuck do you know?
Well, that reminded me of some news thing I saw. Well, like it must have been over 20 years ago, but it stuck with me. They were like, because I guess a lot of like places donate food to the food pantries in Chicago, and they were interviewing a homeless person that went to the food pantry like to get like their food in the morning, and the guy's like, "That coffee's gross. There's stale donuts." I'm just like, I know you got it rough, dude, but if I was in your shoes, I'd be grateful to have someone willing to give me something, that kind of thing, And I'm sure you guys were in the same boat. We never had it great all the time, I've had to scrounge for stuff, and I was thankful for everything I had. So that kind of stuff turns me
Hulk angry. And like the homeless table, she named it after Charlie. Millionaire Cruise.
Ahoy millionaires.
And this is where I was mad because how are you going to tell me that you're going to have a millionaire cruise and not one person's going to have a top hat?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Lots of white. There was a couple white tuxedos, though.
Yeah, cool.
That's good. It would have been perfect if they had a top hat on it, because that's what I picture. I picture Monopoly Man when I picture Millionaire
Monocles.
Cruise. Exactly.
So then, while they're on there, there's that, I forget the guy's, Mr. Gross.
Yeah.
I forget his first name.
Oh, that dude that was talking to Rosie?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a mustache too, right?
Yeah.
He had a mustache?
Yes.
So he's there and like he's like giving advice like on like stocks and stuff like that.
Rosie's got like her book and she's writing down everything he says.
Right. And she's like, "What's your opinion on mutual funds?" He goes, "Well, those are for old ladies, not young something something." She goes, "Aren't you a tiger?" And he's like, And I'm like, oh my god, Jesus Christ, worst tiger ever.
And there's also some point where it might be when they first get on the boat and Nicolas Cage and Rosie Perez are like walking around. But I just remember they go up a staircase and Nicolas Cage like picks up something and he goes to like some random woman. And he's like, "Oh, you dropped your lipstick."
Right.
And she goes, "Thank you." And then puts it in her mouth. Like the whole thing. I don't know if that was like a mistake or what. But I was like, did I even like rewound it? I was like, wait a second, what?
Isn't that how it's done though?
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, you dropped your lipstick." She's like, "Thank you." I was like,
dinner. So Nick Cage, like this isn't really his like kind of crowd. So he steps outside. And then he sees Yvonne outside trying to pay the taxi, and
she doesn't want to give him whatever
20. She only had a 20.
She doesn't have a small bill for the taxi. So Nick Cage goes down there, and he's like, "Repeat after me. Keep the change."
Yeah.
So she, to the taxi guy. So so while they're taking care of the little taxi snafu, the boat starts taking off.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh shucks, the boat's gone."
Here's the thing, though. So as the boat's taking off, everyone on the boat's like, "Bye-bye, bye-bye." Yeah. Who are they waving to?
Yeah, there wasn't like a crowd on the dock or anything.
Once again, Titanic. I mean, sure, there's like a bunch of people. It's the maiden voyage, bye-bye, bye-bye. It makes sense.
Titanic.
But I mean, there's like, there's no one there to wave bye-bye to.
Maybe they were drunk.
Maybe.
So then, I mean, honestly,
they kind of hang out, right?
Well, the next 10 minutes I could have done without because it's just bouncing between the boat and then Nick Cage and Yvonne at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
this is the only part where you learn when Nick Cage met Rosie.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you talk about a cooking class, and that's caught my attention because I took a cooking class in high school, and I slept. Really, why didn't I tried to sleep through most of it? Like at the beginning, the teacher would talk about, I knew how to cook, but I knew how to cook since I was a kid. I've been taught how to cook, and so I'd sleep, and then when we go to have to do my cooking, and it'd be fine. I'd get an A for that, and I go back to sleep. I was also a senior in high school, and I hated high school. It's not the anger.
I'm sensing this.
a little bit. Cooking. Gotta switch you to decaf.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So the movie would go to the boat, and Mr. Gross and Rosie Perez are like canoodling, and then it goes to the restaurant, and Nick Cage and Yvonne are
they're champagne. They're talking about
Nick Cage,
shit.
and then when Nick Cage is explaining about his relationship with his wife,
and how it's not going well,
and he's like, it's like I'm CNN, and she's like the home shopping network, and I'm like, yeah, that's good.
So then before they call it a night, Nick Cage is like, he's like, I'm really not doing much. If you ever want to hang out, just let me know. She's like, what about tomorrow? He's like, tomorrow?
Yeah.
They agree to hang out.
Yeah.
To me, I kind of sense like she was kind of like starting to get into him, and then he was kind of like just looking for a friend.
Right.
That's what I got from it. But
no, I assume that they're both
into each other.
You think so? Okay.
Actually, you know what? Because like the first time that they meet, you can tell by the way that he looks at her. I think
that's right.
He's smitten.
Yeah, that's right.
So then Nick Cage makes his way back onto the boat.
Yeah.
And he's trying to think of all the...
How did he get back on the boat?
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't...
He's like trying to think of all these excuses of why he was gone. But then when he gets there, Rosie Perez didn't even realize that he was gone. Yeah. And then there's like this real obvious like flirting between Mr. Gross and Rosie Perez in front of Nick Cage. And I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So then it's the next day, and for Yvonne and Charlie, their date, they go rollerblading. So if you didn't know it was the 90s from the AIDS/gay reference, rollerblading.
Yeah. And he just... Yeah, right in the leg.
Yeah, because so obviously he's not very good at rollerblading.
Yeah.
And then they come up to, she's like, oh, be careful. There's a little decline here.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa. And then he goes right into the river.
And that's what everyone watching, it's like, oh, rom-com. It's
very much so.
Yeah.
But then, like, after he fell into the lake, creek, whatever that was, like, he was standing. Which, like, he's standing on rollerblades, which are very thin, in a river, creek, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that seems
he
like...
didn't need to fall. He could have rolled into it and been like, whoa, I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, pretty much.
And then
she's like, she's like, I assume you're done with rollerblading.
Right.
And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, what do you want to do? And then she's sitting there, and it's on her for an awkwardly too long of a time. Because she like, it really is. He's like, he's waiting for him to answer, and there's no answer. And she's just like looking at him for like 10 seconds, not doing anything.
Line.
I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool, the next scene. Where the kids with the...
not yet.
No.
Well, first
Really?
is where they're paying, attention everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they're
that's
on the
right.
subway.
Yeah.
They announce to everybody who they are.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, they paid. They're like, oh, we're paying for everyone's subway trip.
So they give each one a token to go through the subway.
Yeah.
Right. And then right after that, they book Yankee Stadium to a bunch of like the neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
And the kids get to go have fun. I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
And then like, there's like one part where Charlie and Yvonne are like being playing around, and Bo once again is just like, like a approving look.
Yeah.
Like, okay. All right.
It seemed like they're doing a lot with $2 million.
Yeah.
Think about it. Rosie Perez is like going on a massive shopping spree.
Right.
And he's paying for people's subway. He's renting out Yankee Stadium. He's doing he's giving to the police fund.
I would just
it's like they're both going through a lot of money.
Right.
And I looked it up. $2 million in 1994 is $3.3 million in 2018.
It's still not much more than 2 point, but I don't know.
It just seemed like they're buying a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So when they get back from the ballpark, they walk off the bus that they rented and they come back to Muriel throwing Nick Cage's clothes over the fire escape.
Yeah.
And they show the front of the newspaper again where it's what is it? Lotto Robin Hoods, and it shows them paying everyone's subway fare.
Yeah.
And
she's like, "Oh, you're spending $500. I'm angry at you."
Yeah.
Again, Rosie Perez needs everything. Ugh.
Yeah. Right.
I think I've done 50 times during this.
Yeah.
She's not likable at all.
And then Yvonne, it cuts to Yvonne coming home, and Eddie, her ex-husband, is there.
Yeah, that was weird.
He comes out of the bathroom and then swings on the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's in just a towel.
Yeah.
And is this where he says he wants to start a school for acting, or what was it?
Yeah.
Oh no!
He was
the Eddie Hall
players or
or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And then it cuts.
So it's basically Yvonne wants to get away from
Eddie.
Yes.
So she's like, "Oh, I'm staying at a hotel."
Yeah.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
And it cuts to Nicolas Cage, and Rosie Perez is basically kicking him out.
Right.
And that's where she says that she wants the divorce there.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But we should also note that Muriel has a mural.
Yes, of herself.
Muriel.
Yeah, that was.
I'm really?
Well, the whole place is so gaudy and just it's like she thinks being rich means you have to have all this gross stuff. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, so this is where Nick Cage. Oh, so Nick Cage leaves, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna." He's walking with the neighborhood kids. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get a room with a Holiday Inn." The Holiday Inn, yeah, you won the New York Thing. Why don't you go to the Plaza?
Yeah,
What's it gonna do?
Yeah.
And then and this is where, because Nick Cage goes to the Plaza because the kid suggests it, and then Yvonne goes to the Plaza because Eddie suggested it. So it's just both of them went to the Plaza because they're both easily influenced.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So Yvonne's there and she's checking in, and she's like, "Oh," the lady at the desk is like, "Oh, you look." She's like, "No." She's like, "Yeah, I'm not the lotto lady.
Yeah, I'm not the waitress."
Yeah.
Right. And "Oh, right, gotcha." And then she turns around and Nick Cage is there waiting to check in.
Yeah, Yvonne did a lot of staring, being surprised
Right.
throughout the entire thing.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. So Yvonne's trying to get a room, and the employee at the counter is like, "Oh, would you like a single or a double room?"
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
when Nick Cage walks in. He's like, "Oh."
Right.
Yeah.
So then two respective bellboys each walk them up to the room.
Because they each get separate rooms,
Right.
but they're connected.
Right.
Which was very weird.
yeah, especially in a really nice hotel. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the bellboy's like, that's the waitress. He's like, that's the cop.
Yeah.
What a city.
Just in case you guys weren't sure, we'll tell you again.
Right. He's like, so they're in adjacent rooms.
And throughout the whole movie, there's just random shots of Isaac Hayes just being like,
Yep. Right. Don't forget about me.
Yeah. I don't have any lines, but I'm still here.
It's still me.
Yeah.
So they realize they have the adjoining rooms, and they're like, "Oh, it's the same thing but different colors." And then they start talking about the robes, and robe talk apparently gets them horny.
Yeah.
And then they do it.
Yeah.
And then the paper knows that they were there.
I assume because of the bellhops.
Oh,
Told
yeah, that
people.
could be. And then, because then they walk out of the hotel and everyone's like,
Yeah.
And then it's the next day where it's the litigation for the divorce.
Yeah, they're basically at the lawyer's office or whatever, law firm.
And Rosie's wants it all.
Right. Yeah. So Nick Cage has his buddy who doesn't seem like he's a very good lawyer, kind of.
Yeah, not at all.
And then Rosie Perez is there with her super high priced lawyers, and she got the boob job.
Yeah.
And
Which that was a quick boob job.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they knew how long those things take to heal. There you go.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nick Cage pretty much just says to the lawyers, he's like, yeah, she can have my half of the winnings.
Yeah. Which I made the note, they've already blown through so much of it.
Right.
Yeah, how much is half, right?
And, Rosie Perez's lawyer's like, oh, it's very mature. And they go, okay, on to the next case, or the next item. We want Yvonne's part of the money too, because, it was done unbeknownst to Rosie Perez. And he's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And he's super butthurt by it.
It's funny because you do that exactly how he does it in the movie. It's like, oh, cool, boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Nick Cage is super upset, and like his lawyer's like, absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
And Nick Cage like grabs
Her arm.
grabs her arm. She's like, you see my watches right now?
Yeah,
And he's
yeah. Well, yeah, Rosemary's trying to play it like they argue all the time. He hits me, that kind of stuff. And then that was in the post that he hits her.
Yeah.
Who says? Is it Nick Cage's lawyer that says, "Oh, you should stay away from Yvonne"?
Yes.
Till this blows over or something like that.
Yep.
So then Nick Cage stays at Bo's place.
Yep.
And they talk about, oh, thank you for letting me use your Barney blanket.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, another 90s reference. So Nick Cage is staying at Bo's place. And then it's the day, like one of the trial days. And then once again, they bring up the fucking dead father thing.
Yeah, which I think
Muriel's on the
out.
stand.
No, it starts off with, was it Muriel? Because I remember it was his lawyer first said, like, what are the numbers? And it's like, oh, so Nick Cage picked the numbers.
Yeah.
It wasn't the numbers you said.
Right.
And then it went to, oh, but my dead dad.
Yeah. Right.
And then that was on the front.
and the
page
post one's
again.
that.
I know. It's like, dead father picked numbers.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, was it a slow news day?
Yeah,
or how
really.
lazy are your writers?
Yeah. And then it just was more of that. And then it went to the jury decision.
Right. Yeah. So the trial, the jury rules in favor of Muriel. Then Yvonne storms out.
Yeah.
Which I vividly remember the scene like from childhood.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Of like Yvonne running and
really?
Nicolas Cage
I've
following
never
her.
seen the movie previous
Oh,
to
really?
this. Yeah.
I remember this movie pretty well.
Yeah, not me.
I remember seeing it multiple times as a young lad. We had it on VHS.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. 2004.
All them hot tubs, them strippers. And then while Nick Cage is like chasing Yvonne, the reporters are interviewing Muriel, and she has like this Muppet head. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then they're showing like various scenes of like dismay.
Yeah.
Like Nick Cage is like all like super bummed out looking at some sort of inanimate object, and then it's Yvonne. She's all bummed out looking at some sort of inanimate object. She's like, okay, whatever. And then more Bo looks. What look does Bo give? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, well, because it shows Nicolas Cage eating dinner with Bo and his family, and Nicolas Cage says, "I don't even know where she is," and he responds with, "You're a cop. That's what you love." It's like, yes, going back to work full time will make you forget the love of your life. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't they pretty much reunite?
They get together again, and then they start they go to because she can't have the diner anymore, I guess, because she has no money. So I guess the diner's done.
Yeah.
But they go and they see that the gate in front of the door is open.
Wait, no, that's not yet. No, because I forget where it is. Because oh wait, maybe not. Are you talking about the envelopes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not yet. No, that's not yet.
Oh, no. So it just shows Nicolas Cage like just walking around being a mope. It's nighttime. He walks past the diner and sees that it's open.
Right.
So he walks in.
Yes.
And Yvonne's sitting in a booth.
Yes.
And they basically make up there.
And
That's
to me, it was a very obvious like Oscar scene.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what they're
Yeah,
trying to go?
yeah,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
If you feel so inclined, watch that scene again and just like think like, ooh, we gotta get an Oscar.
Okay.
It's like, oh, it was never the money, it was you. Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
that's right.
oh, you're laying it on
That's right.
thick.
Ugh.
And then it's just they hear the and then
Yeah.
look out the window and it's Isaac Hayes in disguise and he's like,
Yeah, that's right.
And that, for some reason, I also remember that very vividly
yes,
from
I
childhood.
Yes.
remember that too.
Yeah, and he goes and he sits down and he's eating the soup.
Right, but then like when he does that, they're like, oh, he's hungry. Like,
Yeah,
fuck you,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, oh my god. So they invite him in. They put him
Yeah.
at the Charlie fucking table.
Yeah.
And
Which
he's
matters.
eating soup super loud.
Yeah, so the,
Right. I'm like, oh my god. And so while he's eating soup, they're like just slow dancing in
Yeah.
front of the bum.
yeah, that was weird.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Right. So while they're doing that,
He finishes his soup, right? Is that when he?
well, that's
can't
when he
remember.
busts out the
Yeah, the
fancy
super
dance.
secret.
This, yeah, that's
The little
right.
camera.
Spy camera.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like taking pictures of them, and he's like, "My name is Angel blah blah."
Yeah,
blah.
so
Yeah.
he leaves the diner. He basically takes off the wig, gets in a van, and
Isaac
takes
Hayes,
your
yeah.
host and
Host
child
stuff.
left.
Yeah.
Isaac Hayes, so Isaac Hayes
Yeah.
was the homeless guy, and he's like the photo editor or
Yeah.
he works for the New York Post,
Yeah.
and he like wrote up this whole story about this whole thing.
Yeah.
So my question is, what did he in the story? Does he suggest to donate money?
That's what I was led to believe.
I guess.
Okay,
I really don't know why he was there, honestly.
right. So Nick Cage and Yvonne, they decide they're gonna move. I forget. Oh, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
To Buffalo.
Because Nicolas Cage says, I can join the Buffalo Force.
Buffalo cops. So when they're getting ready to leave, Yvonne and Nick Cage are like, oh, let's make. Yvonne's like, oh, I gotta make one last stop.
Yeah.
So they decide to go to the diner. And they walk by and they see the gate is open. They're like, oh, why is it open? And they're like, oh, the door's stuck. And it's stuck because there's all these envelopes in there.
Yeah, and Vaughn's like, oh, this must be like some kind of mistake.
Yeah.
Everything.
Right.
And then they open them and they see that they're little letters saying, hey, you two are the tops.
Yeah.
Here's some money.
Yeah.
Type thing. And there's hundreds of letters.
Yeah.
Yes. And in total, $600,000.
Yeah. It took them 3 days to open them up.
$600,000 tip.
Yep. Good job, Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like winding down to the end now. So now they get that they stay there. The diner was still open, right? The diner's still there. He's being a cop, and then they say that, and then they move to how Rosie Perez ends.
Right. So I guess Jack Gross, he like emptied out their account and like fled the country.
Yep. And Rosie moved back with her mom and does nails.
Right.
And I'm like,
Eddie,
in your face, Rosie. I was so happy.
and then Eddie became like a taxi driver.
Yes.
He can only get work as a taxi driver.
Yes.
Right. He could only get work as a taxi driver.
Yep.
And then Yvonne and Charlie get married and they fly away in a hot air balloon with the newspaper front. Like,
Yeah.
Because the moral of this story is, even if you lose millions of dollars, people will send you
Millions of dollars.
Yes. Yeah. Then they
that's
fly
really
away in
what
a
it
hot
is.
air balloon and credits.
Yep. This movie is based on the true story.
Yeah, I remember Isaac Hayes saying that.
Very loosely.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Very loosely.
Waitress at Sal's Pizzeria in Yonkers, New York.
Yonkers.
Let's see. The police officer was a 30-year veteran. Yada yada. The police officer's favorite dish was linguine with clams.
And
Why is that in there?
It says the wife of the wife of Nick Cage, like in the real story, had no problem.
Yeah.
From what I read, she was like, "Yeah, give her half."
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so one day, basically the police officer asked the waitress he wanted help picking lottery numbers. The waitress came up with 3 numbers. He came up with 3 numbers.
Right.
And then he basically said, hey, if we win, I'll split it.
Right.
So the next day, the police officer and his wife, they came to the diner and basically they split it with her.
Really?
Yeah.
In real life, though, as stated in the disclaimer at the end of the movie, which I didn't see.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's the two were separately married and happily married for many years.
Yeah,
So-
they were just kind of buddies.
Yeah.
There was no romantic anything.
Fucking Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Other trivia at the divorce proceedings, Muriel has had a breast augmentation. Those are Rosie Perez's real breasts.
Ah.
At the beginning of the movie, she actually had them bound down to appear smaller.
Oh, wow.
This was
good to know.
crazy and blew my mind. This movie was originally titled The 2 Million Tip, which I was like, that's weird. And guess who's supposed to star in this movie?
Oh.
Oh.
I'm going to go Tom Hanks.
Robert Redford.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That would have been fantastic. I would have loved that.
I will split the money with you.
That's all I can do for Arnold. I can just make noises.
He turned it down to do Last Action Hero.
Oh, that's like one of his. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's not a good one. And we
Put
already,
that cookie down.
Yeah.
we already went over what Porvo is. Another possible title for this. Really? Another possible title for this movie was Cop Gives Waitress $2 million tip.
A little on the nose.
Yeah. No, you would have known what you're getting into.
Yeah. The IMDb plot keywords for this movie is lottery. Makes sense. Waitress. Winning the lottery. Police officer. New York City.
Okay,
So those
work.
are actually pretty on point.
Yeah, those work.
The tagline for this is "It's not about money, it's about life." But to me, that seems like the obvious tagline is "It's not about money, it's about love."
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know, like,
yeah, there you go.
to me, they like that's the obvious answer.
Yeah.
my tagline is going to be, now that's good coffee.
Yeah. My tagline is make sure you're not married to Rosie Perez.
Yeah. That's just life advice. That's not a movie tagline.
Yeah.
Budget was $20 million. It did well.
I was going to say, I picture this doing well.
Yeah. Guesses for box office?
We got
32.
40.
About $38 million.
Boom.
Price is Right rules, bro. I win.
Oh, I wasn't saying win. I was saying boom.
Just boom goes the dynamite. That's all.
Exactly.
Your thoughts on Blood Orange IPA?
Good summer beer. Don't know if I would want to keep on drinking it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't bad.
As long as it stays cold. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Once it's getting warmer, I don't really.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I would say if on my Untapped rating, I give it a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big IPA person, but I think I like it slightly better than the Maduro from last week.
There you go.
3.25.
There we are.
But I do, because in the past few weeks, our ratings have kind of stayed the same. Shake up on my end.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to go, man.
And we're talking about our top 3
Our top
Nicolas
3
Cage
Nick Cage movies so far.
that we've seen so far.
Fuck.
To me, it's pretty much the same Firebirds, Vampire's Kiss, but now this is replacing Amos and Andrew.
I'll do mine since it's the same for me. Vampire's Kiss, Valley Girl, Firebirds.
I think I'm going to go this,
Boy in Blue.
Boy in Blue, and then Amos and Andrew. So
interesting.
So it knocked out Deadfall.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Cool.
So take that.
Would you recommend it?
This?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Nope. I don't like rom-coms. I don't like romantic comedy movies. I just don't like them. That's why I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You're a real piece of work.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. What's up on what's the next movie?
Oh, what is
Oh, yeah. Oh, you need it vamped. Then you look it up.
Oh boy.
So this beer. Oh, I got to pee so bad.
Me too. I really have to pee.
What didn't you like? What did you, I know it's a romantic comedy. You don't like romantic comedies, but
I just think they're dumb. I don't know.
Did Bridget Fonda look really frail to you?
Very frail.
Frail, yeah.
Just
Like
skinny
super
and-
skinny, like Skeletor
Right.
style.
She looked really.
Yeah, she was. And did you know that she hasn't done anything since 2002 2002.
I can believe that.
What did she do in 2002?
A TV thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She hasn't been in anything since.
Next movie is Trapped in Paradise, a Christmas-themed crime comedy film.
John Lovitz?
Yes. And Dana
Love
Carvey.
John Lovitz. Yo, this is going to be so good.
I hate John Lovitz.
This is going to be so good. Okay.
Which also came out in 94.
Or another tagline. Bo approves.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. God, I'm not a John Lovitz fan.
Really?
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Wait, who played the critic?
John Lovitz.
Oh, that's true.
Yes,
Yeah, but that's like his voice.
But that's who he is, too. I got to pee.
Yeah.
Is that your sign off?
That's my sign off. Gotta pee.
I gotta pee.
See you next week. We gotta pee.
Gotta pee.
Hey, this is Brian.
Chris.
Brandon, if you're watching us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hit it. You will see us. You will like us. You will listen. You will watch us.
Oh, this got really aggressive. And we hope to see you then. Bye-bye.